Alright, what's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Why blacks are not in the Republican Party? Okay, quick history lesson. People will say, maybe Martin Luther King was a Republican, and Republicans passed civil rights, and Republicans and black people were Republicans for a long period of time. Now, people forget some things. The Democratic Party was the party of the Ku Klux Klan. The Democratic Party was the party against civil rights. Yeah, all of that is historically, factually true. Here's the problem. After the Civil Rights Bill was signed, and after all of that happened, the Democrats, who were racist like that, flooded the Republican Party. Thus, the black people in the Republican Party, who we were staunch Republicans for a very long time, when you go back to Reconstruction, Republicans. Now, if people don't know Reconstruction, just get a history book, you'll figure out, or Google it. But all of that influx of all those racists who, to a degree, just wanted to get in the Republican Party to dilute the numbers and the movement of black people in America. So, since there was a mass influx of racists, there was a mass exodus of black people out of the Republican Party to the Democratic Party, which leads to this. To a degree, that's why people call some people blue dog Democrats. See, everybody in the Democratic Party can be under the quote-unquote left or liberal banner, but some of those people are just remnants from the leftover Klansmen who decided to play a little bit to play both sides of the fence. They're gonna still hate your guts, but you're gonna be in the same party now. Now, I say that because people, for some odd reason, forget these things. So it's kind of like, and that's why, to a degree, black Americans have conservative values. We big on family. The government was partially destroying our families. Too much government interference that's been going on for centuries, But another thing about that is fiscal responsibility, which the government has been part of fucking up our finances for centuries. But the principles we all gravitated to, But the treatment is another thing. Nobody wants to sit at the table with a Klans member, okay? Especially if you're black, you just don't want to sit at the table with a Klans member. It's just not in your, not really what you want to do. So when people say, black people, we follow blindly to the Democratic Party, I could say to a degree, yeah, but it's no different of us united in the Republican Party, 50 years back, from 50 years ago to further. Now, the difference now is people in the black people in the Republican Party, to a degree, have this mentality that they're keeping their conservative values, but they're lining them up to a degree with races. See, you can keep your principles, and that doesn't mean a thing, because everybody has principles. Everybody has a code. So if you say I'm a Republican because, I believe in these principles, and these were the core principles of being a Republican, nobody says anything. But when you're in there and then you start to use old 60, 70 year ago Democratic racist rhetoric today as a Republican, but then say Democrats used to do it then, you're only doing what people have been saying for years. Just because you switched parties doesn't mean you switch mentalities or you're a different person. It's just you put on a red hat, you had a red hat, well, you had a blue hat and you put on a red hat. That's it. So, other than that, it's no difference. The black people, sometimes, you can tell that when we talk about the Clarence Thomases, the Allen West, the Larry Elders, Henry Louis Gates. I don't know if he's a Republican or not, but to a degree, a lot of these guys line up. They have a certain hatred towards the black community until the same people that they're supposed to be in the same party with or in line with make sure they know that, look, you're just uh, beneath me. And then they go, brothers, I need your help. And it's like, no, you've been putting that stuff out for years and years that I'm no good and I'm beneath you and I need to do this and that. And now when the same people that you were on that you were on the front lines with, they pushed you to the front line and let you get shot first. Now you want my help. Not cool. You know, to a degree, like that Crispus Attucks kind of thing, you know. And if anybody know Crispus Attucks, you know, first person shot. And if you think like a black person, you're like, I wonder why he was the first person shot. Like all them people, and just the first person shot was the only brother there. You know, part of the when people used to talk about horror movies, you know, oh, brother gonna die in the first 20 seconds. And you filled your quota, now you got to go. Um, but when you come to it, I think people leave that part of the argument out. Like you need to learn the history of the Democratic and Republican Party. Just like going further back, that's the reason why with the red and blue. That's the reason why boxers go to red and blue corners. If you never knew that, just putting that out there. That still has to do with Democratic, Republican, you know, red and blue, and you know that kind of stuff. So sometimes don't if you're gonna listen to the story, listen to the whole story. Just in history in general, because a lot of people will put out history, but they'll cut it off at the point to make it sound good enough to make their point, but leave out the rest. All right.